Hello, hello, everyone. Hello, tribe family. I hope that you're having a great evening. It's really good to actually come to you live at this hour. It's 9 o'clock here in Puerto Morelos, Mexico. I think Jamie is going to be coming live to you from the East Coast, and our lovely Jacent will be coming live to you from Las Vegas, so on the West Coast. So it's going to be pretty exciting to have both these two ladies on tonight. I am so excited. I've been waiting for this for a long time. I met Jamie and Jacent both first online. Jamie I met through a mutual friend, and I went to one of her financial events. She was running an event in Las Vegas, and so I went there. And it was really it was really good. Like, I learned something about myself and about finances. But what I also learned was that someone so young, really awesome, and I'm not saying this in a condescending way, but I really felt that, wow, I wish I knew you when I was like your age, because I really had some really bad money mindset, like beliefs, and my practices around money were bad. And so it was really like inspiring to be around you. And then, of course, Jacent, I met her as well online through another mutual friend. And what was really great was that I also got to lean in to learn more about what she does. And she's not only is she a coach in finances, but she's also doing other things, like she's actually licensed to be practicing in the mental health or mental awareness world. And so it's really exciting to be able to have these two women on. And I'm going to just tell you a little bit more about them. So let me tell you about Jamie. First, Jamee Bateau that's her name, is a licensed financial professional and educator in Las Vegas. Right now, as I said, she's coming to us from the East Coast because she's traveling. What I love about what she wrote was that she said she's paid off $45,000 in student loan debt in less than 2 years. That just blows my mind. $40,000 in auto loans in less than 2 years. She's built a 5-figure savings and now helps others do the same. She helps working families who feel like they're doing all the right things financially, but they still don't feel like they're getting ahead, like they're in a hamster wheel of sorts. She gives them the clarity and the peace of mind they need when it comes to money, so they can finally achieve those goals they always wanted but never thought they could achieve. She helps them implement financial products and strategies tailored to them. In her spare time, she loves to play video games and spend time with family and friends. So that is my good friend, Jamee Bateau. Now let me tell you about Jacent. Jacent Wamala is a licensed marriage and family therapist in Las Vegas. She has a private practice that focuses on working with Black women on anxiety, depression, and trauma recovery. She's the on-site mental health professional for a local charter school and teaches courses at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, in areas such as personal growth and development, multicultural issues in families, and contemporary couples and families. Jacent recently launched another arm to her wellness practice addressing mental health and money. So important. In 3 years, she paid off over $90,000 in credit card and student loan debt, and saw the link between financial stress and mental health issues for her clients. Her goal is to help individuals and families become aware of the limiting beliefs and fears getting in the way of their financial freedom, and empower them to create a plan to reach their goals. In her spare time, she loves to travel and spend time with her family and friends. So as you can see, we have a powerhouse duo tonight to show us the ropes and give us the details, like, how is it possible? How can we clean up our personal and professional finances and live more abundantly? So with that being said, please welcome my lovely friend Jacent and my lovely friend Jamee. Ladies. Hello.
Hi. Thank you for having us.
How are you tonight?
Can you both hear me? I want to make sure.
Yes.
Okay.
How are you tonight?
With everybody here, so I just stepped outside.
Okay, well, I appreciate that you took some time. I know that you're traveling, so thank you so much. But I know that having you both on, especially with what you do and what you've done, like, my mind is still blown. Like, I'm like, seriously, I've been thinking about this and wondering, I wish I'd known you both when I was younger, because like I said, my mindset issue, my mindset limiting beliefs, my practicing of how I spent my money, how I saved my money. I had really a very poor relationship, and I was scared all the time. And so it's really, really cool to have, women like you on to empower us, to show us that it's possible.
Yeah, I think the more that we have these conversations, the more that we break down some of the stigmas and the shame, the embarrassment and guilt around having money conversations. Because I think a lot of us grew up either not having conversations at all, or that our association with money is not good. Like, we only ever heard and had bad conversations when it came to money. So thank you for creating the opportunity for us to have this discussion.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes, thank you for having us.
Absolutely. So I like to just start with a couple of rapid fire. I usually have 9, but I want to honor your time. So I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, because I know, especially with what you guys do, I know you probably had some life lessons that have really empowered you. So I would like to ask each of you this question. What would you say has been your greatest accomplishment in your life? And either one of you can go first. It's okay.
That's deep.
Wow. Yeah.
I think, man, I guess this the answer would change depending on when you ask me. So right now, my answer is, being open to understanding that there's always space and room to grow. So I think that for me at this moment, my greatest accomplishment is embracing feedback and understanding that I can take that feedback and do something with it. Because maybe right now I'm in a season of being stretched and getting feedback, and it's scary to face yourself and the things that you can do better and differently, and not take offense or blame or get on the defensive. And so I think that, for me right now, it's how can I keep stretching? How can I keep myself open to taking feedback and then applying it, moving forward in my marriage, as a bonus mom, as a friend, as a coach, as an entrepreneur. So I would have to say that.
Great.
Yes, Jacent, that is amazing. I need to get on your level. I definitely need to have that. Oh my goodness. I think for me, where I'm at right now, I think my biggest accomplishment, at least in my mind right now, is the fact that I was able to replace my engineering income, from my business. So that was unheard of to me, like 2 years ago when I started my business, so I never really imagined I'd be able to do that, because I was stuck in that employee mindset, and I was brand new as an entrepreneur, so it's kind of awesome to be at that point where, hey, I'm making consistent income now just with my business. That's super cool to me. So wow. I think that's where I'm at right now.
That's amazing. And that shows that it's possible. And a lot of it comes from that money mindset. And I feel like we're going to talk about that, but I really love that you have, you've been able to do that for yourself and empower yourself through your belief that you could do it, and you just did. So I think this question there's just two more questions I think would be really good to ask. And that would be, what would you say has been your greatest lesson learned?
Things are not always as they seem. So sometimes one of the main books that I always recommend is The Lies We Tell Ourselves by Dr. Warren.
Yes, good book.
We have these things that we tell ourselves, or these stories that we believe, and things are not always as they seem. So whether it's what I'm telling to myself, what someone else is telling to me, interactions that I have, how can I kind of pull myself out to appraise the situation, to understand if I'm understanding it fully, if I'm looking at it from different vantage points. So for me, one of the greatest lessons is being able to slow down enough to look at what's going on outside of myself, because I might just be stuck in my one perspective, thinking like I'm right and things have to be done, a certain way or whatever. And so that's one of the things that when you said that came to mind is like, things aren't always what they seem. So be open and be willing to embrace other perspectives and ideas.
Yeah, no, that's great.
I love that. Being a lifelong perfectionist growing up, I was always under the impression that everything needed to go as it should or as you plan, and life doesn't work that way. I think that's what I've learned, especially in this business journey and money journey, is yes, if you have a plan, it's not going to go right the first time. It's not going to go right the second time, third time, maybe even fourth time. You have to be able to adapt, no matter what happens. I know there's, especially with people trying to save, I've seen that a lot. It's like, oh, I messed up again. Oh my goodness. I dipped into it again and now I can't save anymore for the rest of my life. And I'm like, what? No, this doesn't mess anything up. All you have to do is get right back on the horse, right? It's just, don't be confined. I think it's kind of goes into what Jacent was talking about. Is like, don't limit yourself. Don't limit yourself that way. There's it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to have to start over, sometimes. But it comes from, I think, being able to save like we were able to do just comes from discipline and habits. And maybe we'll talk about that a little bit, but just give yourself grace. No one's perfect, right? No one's perfect. That's what I've learned. That's definitely what I've learned throughout these years.
That's wonderful. And then the last question I think would really be good, because I know that advice can be taken one of two ways. I think you touched on that, Jacent, is like being able to take, I don't know if it's feedback or constructive criticism, however people want to word it, but what's the best piece of advice you've ever received? Because sometimes people don't really accept advice, or they don't really allow someone to give them advice for fear that it's a critique rather than it's something to help you learn.
I guess probably, and it's something that we've all heard, so it's not going to be new. But one of the things that always comes back to me, and that is true for every person, is just be yourself. Like, get comfortable being yourself, or embrace the discomfort of being yourself if it's uncomfortable. So,
I love that.
Anything other than ourselves at the end of the day. So we can rack our brains trying to alter and cut away and shift and make ourselves fit, or whatever the case may be. But I think that, all that we have is the moment that we're in. So if you can embrace who you are in any given moment and do that over and over and over and over again, right, then you've lived a life, where you've accepted yourself, because we can't expect for anyone else to accept us if we don't accept ourselves. And we won't accept, someone else's love or acceptance until we accept ourselves. Because someone can tell you, you're gorgeous, you're intelligent, you're smart, you have so much potential. But if you have a block up because you don't see that thing for yourself, then you're never going to be able to, take that from somebody. So you came into the world by yourself, gonna leave by yourself. Even if you had a twin, you came first, or came first, or whatever. So get used to being yourself, or embrace the discomfort of being yourself.
I love that. Yeah, definitely. And Jamie?
And it kind of cut out when you were asking your question. Could you repeat it?
Yeah, sure. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received? Because I said, I feel like it's sometimes hard for people to accept advice because they might think it's being a personal attack on their character. A lot of people don't accept feedback because they think it's criticism. So if you could think of a good piece of advice that you've been given, that you've allowed into, like you've been open to it and you've allowed to receive it. Gotcha.
I don't know if it's particularly advice, but it was something that really struck me. You don't ever achieve your goals. You only achieve your standards.
Wow. Ooh, that's deep. I love that. Oh yeah.
So you don't ever achieve your goals. You only, fall or achieve your standards. And I think that was that. I was like, Okay. That makes a lot of sense. You know, everything is up to you, really. Everything is up to your standards. The fact that you are not able to save, that's because your standard is a little low when it comes to saving, right?
Mhm.
The fact that you can't get rid of your debt, you don't really have examples of anything else. So your standards are very low when it comes to that. Anything in life, you don't have boundaries because no one in your life has boundaries. I suffer from that. Jacent, we need to talk about that. Oh my goodness. But so that really struck a chord to me.
Yeah.
I was like, it's just me. I'm absolutely and completely fully responsible for everything in my life. So I thought that was kind of a profound thing that I heard. Yeah.
Wow. Well, and actually, just real quick, there's a book that I'm reading right now. It's the Living a Life of Awareness by Don Miguel Ruiz Jr. And it's all around like our emotions and the attachments that we put to them. And one of the things was talking about the fear and attachment, and fear will take hold when you've created attachments to something outside of yourself, right? And change is inevitable. And if you look at all things and ideas you have become attached to, you'll find that your identity is entwined in these attachments. So I think it really like plays into like having that, being able to like be okay that you can be yourself and step outside of your comfort zone and try new things. And if it doesn't fit, then you try something new. But it's, again, that whole perfectionism also can play into it too, because you're thinking, well, if I don't do this perfect, then why am I trying? So yeah, I get that. It's really, really something to think about. And that's obviously a conversation for another time. But I wanted to say thank you definitely, ladies, for allowing me to at least take you down that little road to, just reflecting on some, things that have happened to you over your life that have inspired you to be your best self every day. So thank you again for being gracious. It's nice, as I said, to get to know people before you dive deep, because a lot of the time people don't know us. We start talking, we're all in the coaching field, whether it's through finances or through mental awareness or emotional awareness or whatever that is, money mindset. And I think that when people when they get to know you on a deeper level about like the things that have inspired you, it just lets them have a little window of opportunity to seeing who you are as a person before we start talking like the real stuff, which is now what I'm excited to get into. So I guess what I want to do is like, let's tell us a little bit about yourself. If you both can just take a minute and tell us how you got involved with what you do and why, and then let's lean into that conversation about money, because I think I think people are reeling from last year and trying to figure out, okay, last year I had all of this I was hit with all of this financial stuff, and now how to move forward in 2021 with still uncertainty. But before we get to that, I wanted to just tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved with, with your practice and why. So I don't know who wants to go first. Jacent?
Yeah, I can go first. Okay. So, I am a firm believer that we teach what we most need to learn. So everything that I talk about, everything that I, recommend typically and say is stuff that I have either tried or been through or, have some level of experience in to some extent. And so for me, I became a therapist because I wanted to, and 2020 was a great highlight for that. The thing that matters at the end of the day is like your health and your relationships. So an understanding that I wanted to use my life to serve, relationships is where I found my area of impact. And then shifting into the mindset coaching, which I do now with my online course and community, is from my own personal journey of paying off my student loan and credit card debt and seeing that every single one of my clients, except for one that was financially stable, mentioned money as a major stressor for them. But when I was in grad school, we never talked about how to help marriages with money. We never talked about how to help our clients with money. And so there's this huge gap. Like if relationships end because of money and people get divorced over it and people are, unable to meet their needs because of it, why isn't this something that was included in our schooling? And so, just seeing a need and seeking to fill it because I'm passionate about the topic and helping people go from scarcity to abundance in their mind. Because once you do that, then you are released from, the chains that are a scarcity mindset, a lack and limitation lens. And that's kind of just what I really enjoy talking about. I'm kind of a nerd. And so I love talking about that stuff. And I think that I would hope for everyone to find wherever their area is that they feel, passionate and kind of nerdy about. They could sit for hours and talk about this subject. And so that's kind of how I found myself now at this place.
Oh, wonderful. That's good. I mean, I love your story. I mean, we've talked a little bit before when we got to see each other a little bit in Vegas before I moved away, but it's always nice to hear it again. It's inspiring to me. So thank you. And Jamie, you're muted. You muted yourself.
Sorry. We were driving and I didn't want you to hear all the weird noises. But kind of, I don't know. It's a long story trying to get to where I am now. But long story short, what really got me passionate about being.
Oh, I lost you. Your sound.
Shit.
Oh, has she gone? Well, we'll wait for Jamie to come back. But in the meantime, I'm hoping that Jamie's okay. Okay, so, well, I guess we can maybe when Jamie comes back, we can, revisit that. But let's talk about the questions, because I know I sent you the questions about what I thought it would be really good topic around. And of course, because you are in mindset, and mindset is something that I also incorporate into my practice. And it's a really good way to talk about it and allow, the ladies in my group to see, it's not just me that's talking this way. It's like other coaches, other people out there are realizing that mindset does play a big role in every part of our life. So my question to you is, do you think mindset plays a role in how people spend or don't spend their money?
Oh, yeah. I think it has everything to do with how you spend and don't spend money, because it's your lens. So you wear glasses, I wear glasses, I just don't have mine on right now. And we've all used a Snapchat filter or an Instagram filter or something like that. Our lens dictates how we see the world. It informs and influences how we move in the world. Mm-hmm. So our mindset is essentially like our attitudes around money. Our money mindset is going to dictate how we spend it or don't spend it. Jamie, she's a saver by nature, and there might be reasons why she has that lens, that she wants to be prepared. She likes to save. And, there are people who are spenders who, their lens will say, well, I work hard for my money, so I'm going to buy this bag. And that's the lens that then informs what they choose to do or not do. And so I think when we slow down enough to walk ourselves out of our behavioral habits with money, that we can start seeing what those connections are. So yes, I think it has everything to do with mindset is everything. Essentially, it's your emotional, spiritual, physical. It kind of cuts across all of those areas. But yes, definitely with money, it's a huge part of how we maneuver. And money is just a piece of paper with dead people's faces on it. So it doesn't have a life of its own. It takes on the characteristics of the handler. So your money does what you do. And if you're aimless and you don't have a budget and you're not, getting support if you need it, then that's what your money is going to be. It's going to be aimless. It's not going to know what to do. It's going to be gone and you're going to be wondering where it's at. If you, on the other hand, you get some support, you book a call with a financial professional like Jamie, you talk to a money mindset coach, or deal with your emotional triggers, right? With Leslie, that then you'll be able to be more focused and direct with your money and see that your money's going to hit a more precise target because of your position and your alignment in those other areas.
Right. Well, it was so funny how you said the whole thing about I work hard for my money, therefore I'm going to buy myself this bag. And I used to have that mindset. It's like, oh, well, I work hard for my money, But the funny thing is, I don't know if anyone can resonate in the group, whoever's watching right now, is that I remember like buying things, but then I would hide them. Like I'd walk into the house and I'd wait till to see if my husband was home, and I'd sneak my purchases in. And I was thinking, well, no, like, what am I doing? But then I would also have the whole thing about he would say, well, is that new? And I'd say, oh yeah, I bought that like a couple of weeks ago. You saw it, And I was ending up like, not so much, I guess it is telling a lie, but even if you call it a white lie or not, it's still, I wasn't being truthful. And so there's that whole fear of like, okay, I'm spending money because, well, I make the money, I should be able to spend it. And then there's the whole, well, I don't want him to see what I'm doing because now you feel guilty. So you have both of those emotions going at the same time. So yeah, it makes sense, I guess, the whole money mindset. And I went on this quest of mindset for a long time because I realized that mindset was really important. Here we go. We're adding Jamie back in. Hi, Jamie. We lost you for a moment.
Sorry.
No, that's okay.
My phone died apparently.
Oh no, that's fine. I wanted to. We just
an external battery.
Oh, are you okay? Okay, well, I'm glad that you came back because I really feel like our listeners are really going to get a lot from both of you. I had asked Jacent just a minute ago about mindset, and I felt like mindset is really key. I feel like it has us, the way that we show up in our world. It's everything, I believe. I think it's a foundational piece to everything. And so I asked, do you think mindset plays a role in how people spend or don't spend their money? And maybe you can speak to even from experience, like from your own experience.
Definitely does. Definitely does. And Jacent is actually the expert at that because she's the one who deals with mindset quite a bit. I'm more of the implementer. Mm-hmm. But it does, man. Like I was saying before, that when it comes to money, saving, for example, saving is a habit. If you don't build that muscle of saving, it's not going to happen. It's like working out. If you're not used to working out, you're not going to be working out. Make sense? Like,
right.
And that's all you have to do. You kind of have to make the decision that you're going to make this a habit of yours. Mm-hmm. And then really it comes easily. But there's mental blocks that we have with certain things. And that's what Jen kind of massages out of you, So she's an expert at that. But it definitely is all mindset, all of it.
Jamie, as a saver, if you would let me jump in, like what, because we talked about I make my money, I deserve to spend it and enjoy it. For you, Jamie, what is your association with money and saving? Like what informs your ability to save the way that you do?
I have gotten to a point where watching my money grow brings me joy. Like some people, it burns a hole in their pocket. They want to spend it. For me, it's the exact opposite. I hate spending. Absolutely hate it. Like it makes me mad. Like if I had to pay for something I didn't want, no, I don't want to. So it's the exact opposite kind of feeling towards it, because that's just what I've made myself do. That's the decision I made many, many years ago, that's the type of person that I want to be. It's a kind of an identity thing, mm-hmm. I made that my identity, that I am a saver. I'm an extreme saver, not just a saver. I'm an extreme saver. I try to save half my income, so it's, once you make that decision identity wise, I think that's the most important part. Then it'll happen, because you have made the decision that you are now that type of person. So you're going to start making those types of decisions.
Okay.
Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. So now ask the question that I would have as a follow-up to that is, so like going from like someone who, like, as I was saying to Jacent before you popped back on, was that I had fallen into that category of like, well, I make this money, so I should be able to spend it on, like, I made this money, so I'm going to go buy myself this. And so, and then to the opposite, where you're saying like, oh, I don't want to spend the money because I want to see my savings grow.
Gotcha.
Is there like a in between where there's So let me just I guess lead into, I did a couple of Facebook lives, one yesterday and one today, and I talked about the whole money mindset of maybe having that fear around spending money. So I mean, obviously it's not fear for you to save your money, but how would you help someone through that whole, that that they want to save, but they have the right mind, they have the mindset that they're saving not because they're afraid to spend, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
the
it
fear
does.
of not having, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would you say to someone like that? Like if they wanted to, if someone was saying, okay, you were saying to someone, I know you want to get yourself into like a good financial health, and you want to have like a nest egg for you, like, or for emergency funds. But then there's that whole fear that if they go into those emergency funds to spend it, there's that fear around spending the money. And so how do you help someone through that? Because they go from one extreme of I'm spending it because I'm making it, so I'm allowed to spend it. But now I'm changing my mindset. I want to save it. But now if I spend it, there's that fear of spending it. Do you see where I'm going with that? It's like the fear gets transferred from spending it because I have it and I'm just going to spend, but I'm not saving. But now I want to save, and now I'm not spending, and there's that fear. It gets transferred. So how would you work? How would you help someone through that? Because I mean, I think it's amazing. The whole thing about saving is that I think it's amazing. It's just, for me, like my whole money mindset. I used to be, as I said, I used to spend, and I would hide my purchases, and then I would max out my credit cards. And then I had a really bad habit of maxing. I've done it a couple of times. I'll be transparent and walking away, which is not a good thing to admit to, but I'm going to admit it here. So everyone knows that I walked away from some credit card debt. But the whole thing was that when I started learning that my money is there to serve me, but I'm also there to serve my money in a positive way. And then honoring every dollar in and honoring every dollar out, I stopped focusing on, I'm making this money so I can spend it. And so now I am saving. But I know I know people who have that fear where they went from the whole, I'm just spending it because I have it, and now they're learning about to save, but they're afraid to spend. So I'm just trying to say, like, how would we help someone work through that?
Interesting. So when it comes to stuff like that, I guess what I would suggest for people is to not really fight it at first, because that's hard to do. Don't go against the way you work. Try to change your environment, in a way that'll serve you. So what I would suggest for people they're afraid to spend, I would make an account. So I'm not the person to address the mindset. That's just it. So that's kind of a challenge for me. But when it comes to implementing plans, implementing strategies, I would suggest putting that money in a separate account that they can't see. Make it an out of sight, out of mind type savings. That way they'll be saving without even thinking about it. There was a story that I heard, I forget which book it was, forget which book I was reading, but there was this lady who was so bad with money. She spent everything that she made, right? She that's just what she said in the story. She spent every single penny that she made, and she didn't want that anymore because she had a son and they were homeless. She wanted to get out of that situation, right? So what she did, she got 4 jobs, and there was one bank account that she didn't have access to at all. All she did was put direct deposits from a couple of those jobs into that bank account. And by the time, I think it was 2 or maybe 3 years later, then she looked at it. She didn't let her temptations, go get to her, So she ended up having $65,000 in that account.
Wow.
She didn't try to fight herself. All she did was create something that she wouldn't be tempted to look at. And if someone is kind of in that situation, I would suggest doing the same thing. Don't try to fight yourself, because that's going to be hard. Just create an environment around you where you can actually, make that happen. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, you are. And I have to say, I really like how you answered that question, because it really did answer the question of giving someone that opportunity to save without actually focusing on it so much. Because, you put one obsession on you're trading one obsession for another. But if you're not obsessing on the fact that you're saving, so you're not looking at it, but you're doing it, but it's not
Right.
a focus of yours. I love that. That was a great answer. So thank you.
Perfect.
No,
You're welcome.
Thank you. And I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Jacent. I just think that was really stellar.
Yeah, I think it means like a good team because there's logic and emotion, and I feel like Jamie's pretty logical, and she can give us a thumbs up if she agrees with me on that. Like, she's logical, she does the implementation piece, the habits, right? And so there's that piece, but then there's also the emotional side. And so to me, when logic is high, emotion is typically low. So Jamie's like, you just need to create habits. Like, it's not about how you feel. You just need to create structure and stick to the structure, right? And then there's the other side where logic is low, emotion is typically high. And so what you were mentioning was that when someone is emotional, then how can they make logical decisions when they're emotional? And so what Jamie said is she finds joy in watching her bank account grow and her money growing. So the emotion that she attaches to that experience is joy. But what you mentioned was for someone who goes from scarcity mindset in I made this money, I work hard for it so I can spend it. That's a scarcity mindset, because we're acting like we can't have, or we don't, we can't make more, or whatever the case may be, to the scarcity of, oh my gosh, I have this money in the bank account. I need to make sure that nothing happens to it, and I need to save, save, save. Both of those things come from scarcity, and there's only love or fear. So Jamie's saying, I love saving and watching my bank account grow. You said honor, which is a love word. It's a love emotion. I learned to honor every dollar in and honor every dollar out. So when you were mentioning the scenario, it was a fear scenario. And when Jamie's talking about how she's able to save, when you talked about how you've transformed your mindset so that you can save, it's because of an attachment to love in the process, as opposed to scarcity and lack and limitation. So that was the only thing that I kind of noticed. That to me indicates that you need to dig a little bit deeper into the scarcity of what do you think that you're missing, or the deficit or the lack is that you're trying to attend to in your money relationship. And when you figure that out, then the symptoms kind of relieve themselves.
Yeah. No, that's great. Thank you so much.
The logical stuff that she mentioned with the emotional stuff equals success.
Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. So now I saw that someone has a question that if you are up for it, I don't see her name, but she says, these are young women. This is what she's written. What if you're older on a fixed income, not sure of the potential for making more money? So what would you say to that?
Jamie, I can hop in first if you want me to. It's up to you.
I think that's you.
Well, again, right? Everything comes down to mindset. And so I think, what's his name? Les Brown says it's not over until I win, right? Like you're not dead until you're dead.
Yeah.
So there's always a potential to increase your income. It's called an encore career. If you would want to increase your income, if that's something that you would like, but you think that it's not possible, that's a mindset issue. If you enjoy the fixed income that you're on, it covers your expenses and whatever the case may be, then it's how can you get crazy coloring within the lines of your budget? Because if you only have $1, you need a budget. If you have 100,000, a million, a billion, $1 trillion, you need a budget. So it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how much you're making or how little you're making. You definitely want to be taking inventory, like you said, honoring what's coming in, honoring what's going out, as well as addressing the mindset of, well, I'm on this fixed income and that's kind of it, And so I'm not saying that's her situation or scenario, but I hear lack when I hear that. Because there are people who started their careers that took off at 60 and 70 and 80 years old. So that may not be what she's trying to do, is to increase her income or not be on a fixed income. But just that lens of if you're making what's working to pay your bills and whatnot, if you're satisfied in that, okay, then enjoy taking inventory and keeping track of that. And if it's not that you desire something different, then know that you can have whatever it is you desire.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I think she didn't answer anything yet. So I'm not sure if she's going to answer to that question. But yeah, I think when it comes to when you're older, I think, and this just comes from like, I'm in an older, I'm going to be 58. So let's just say it. Okay. So I'm going to be 58. So I can understand where that comes from, because, as you get older, you start focusing on, okay, that you're getting to that retirement age, or maybe you're already retired. And then, so you're looking at that, okay, I only have a fixed income, because you are thinking that you no longer have the ability, or are you qualified to go actually and do something else to actually make that income if you so choose. Because maybe you've put yourself in that box, well, I'm retired, or I can't make any more money because of how old I am. So, I can't do this because of the age bracket that I am, because no one's going to want to hire me, or no one's going to want to work with me, or I'm too old to start a business. And I think that gets in the way of a lot of people who are older. And I think that's probably one of the reasons why I started coaching, was I wanted to not be irrelevant. I wanted to be at 55. I wanted to be a woman that didn't become invisible. And that's how I started down that whole path of changing my whole perspective on my life and what I wanted to do, was because I saw women or people in my age bracket at the time. It was like they were disappearing after a certain age. And I thought, I don't want to disappear, because I still have a lot to say. So that was why I did that. So now she says, I'm operating from scarcity and afraid of my huge student debt. I can pay all my bills except for student loan. So I think that may come still from a lack mindset. I don't know. I think that this could be something that you could speak into.
Yeah, and I'm an extremely ambitious person. I have wild ideas for myself and for other people, right? You are obviously ambitious. You have a lot to say and a lot to continue to give to the world, because you don't look a day over 35, okay?
Well, thank you.
So if you still have energy within you, everyone has something to contribute, and whoever she is, she has gems and ideas and wisdom, right? Like, the beauty of age is experience and wisdom. Mm-hmm. And there's someone looking for that experience and wisdom. It's how do you connect yourself so that you can essentially tap into being able to monetize that thing. So she could monetize her mind, because no one else has her mind and her experiences. And I'm like, she could probably pay off her student loans, whatever amount it is, in a certain amount of time, if she were to get really drilled down and like tapped into the right people, to be able to start her encore career. But if there's certain, because the book I'm listening to right now, the guy has no arms, no legs. There's people who, you know what I mean? Like, to me, I'm like, what excuses are there? You know what I mean? Because for whatever excuse you have, there's someone else who has beaten that excuse. You know what I mean? You are your age and you are in Mexico living your best life and still pouring into and coaching people. So, we can't say, oh, well, 58-year-olds can't clearly have a career. We can't say a 60-year-old can't have a career. We can't say a 70-year-old can't have a career, even if it's a drop shipping business, even if it's, curating content for a community or something like that. It will take like adaptation and growth and learning, but that's also what keeps you that's your vitality. That's what keeps you young, is continuing to learn and grow and expand. So I think that, the fear part, the mindset, would be a good thing to address, so that you can either accept the situation as it is or seek to change the situation.
And I think also then that's where you would come in, Jamie, is the implementation, like the processes and implementing the processes, going from the mindset of, yes, you can have, and it's just changing that whole mindset, like from believing that it's not possible to believing that it's possible, or I'm possible, not impossible, but I'm possible. And I think that's a scary thing. But again, and again, this does come from age. When you grow up in a specific, I'm baby boomer, I guess I would consider myself a baby boomer. And so you have that mindset growing up that my age group was, you went to school, you got a job, you stayed at the same job, and you retire, and then you live your life. And I never actually fit into that mold. But a lot of people, that's what they did. And that was in my age group. That's where it gets scary when you do follow that whole norm. Then you want to step outside the norm. That's where I think the scarcity mindset, the fear starts to show up. So I appreciate you guys both coming on. I don't want to keep you longer because I know that you both have stuff to do. I know it's late for you, Jamie, where you are, and I just really am so excited that you both came on. If you could just maybe give me just a couple more minutes. If there's something, at least one tip that you could impart on the ladies, that would be really great, because I think they're all looking for at least something to walk away with.
Sure. For me, what people have kind of been thanking me a lot about is technique. What I use for budgeting, because can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you were cutting in a little bit, cutting in and out a little bit.
Am I still cutting out a little bit?
A little.
I'm in the hotel now, so I don't think I don't think the signal's very, very good. Let me go outside.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if this works. Do you guys hear me any better?
Yep. Thumbs up.
Okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So I read this book. I don't know if you guys heard of it. It's called Profit First. And they talk about a budgeting technique that you can use for your business or your personal finances that makes it super, super simple to budget. Is that something that people would want to hear?
I think so, absolutely.
Okay, perfect. Because I'm in finances, but I hate budgeting. I don't like the line by line stuff. It takes too long. I don't like it. So what I would suggest you all do, if you can, this doesn't work for everybody, but what I do is I have different checking accounts. So I have different checking accounts, different savings accounts. So if you guys have notes, I don't know if anyone's taking notes, but I have no way of writing anything on here. So basically what I do is I'm going to tell you my personal finances, not my business one. So my personal finances, I have an income checking account. I have a fund checking account. I have a living expenses checking account. And then I have a savings. So that's it. I just have these 4 accounts that I use for my personal finances. The income account, as you can tell, I'm the very logical person. I'm telling you like actual steps and things to do, right? So just like Jacent was saying, that's exactly how I am. My boyfriend calls me a robot sometimes. But the income account is meant to be just your direct deposit. So whatever you're getting from your job, whatever you're getting from, as income, that is its sole purpose, to hold the money for anything that comes in, right? Then we have the fund account. In the fund account, you decide what percentage of your income you want to put to fund. 5%, 10%, whatever that is. It's a percentage-based budgeting. You probably remember this from the budgeting class, Leslie. This is going even deeper now. So it's like, so for me, I do 5%, or no, I think I do 10% now into fund. So it's 10% into fund. I do, what was it? I think I do 50% into living expenses, and then 40% into savings. And that's all. That's my whole budget. So any money that that comes in, I just allocate that money within those percentages into those accounts. And that's all the money that I can use for those particular things. So for fun is like going out to eat for me, maybe going on a trip, maybe, I don't know, watching a movie or something like that. That comes from the fund. So I can see immediately how much money I have allocated towards fun. There's no, you know, extravagant spending if my fun account only has $60 in it. Make sense?
Mm-hmm. No, I love
So so you can see that immediately. Like, it's like you look at your bank account, you look at your bank app, you're like, oh, I only have $5. Okay, I guess I'll wait until I get paid again. You know, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not tempted. It literally tells you can't spend on fun. And then for living expenses, I put 50% because that's just what I wanted to do. I wanted to put 50%, make sure all my expenses are within that. And that's what I do. And then saving, that's super important to me too. So I want to be able to save 40% of what comes in. That's it. That's my whole budgeting plan. I don't have to say, okay, I only have $50 for this particular thing or $100 for food. And I don't have to do that because it's all already kind of figured out within the percentages. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I've heard it before, and I was trying to search it, like, where do the happiest people on earth live? You know what I mean? And that might be something that the ladies want to look up. And that contentment, joy, peace, bliss can be attained from anywhere, essentially, because if you can cultivate it within yourself, then you can experience it outside of yourself. And so, you know, money gives you options, which is nice. It gives you flexibility. It gives you, you know, maybe more of a range of choices. But beyond that, you know, what is it that we're seeking for money to be able to do for us? And how can we find ways to make that happen in bite-sized amounts, you know, in our day-to-day life? Is it that we want flexibility? Do we want comfort? Do we want joy? Do we want experiences? What do we value? And can we rearrange our life to be able to meet those things? As women, you mentioned ladies, so I assume everyone in the group and watching this now or later is a woman. Like, we've been gifted the ability to multiply, right? And so the ability to multiply isn't just child rearing. Our ability to multiply is within, you know, what we can create and how we can expand and how we can connect. And so I would say that, you know, when you look at your life and if you see a place that there's a gap or a hole or a deficit, that you seek to fill it, whether that's a connection with another person, whether that's connection with yourself, spiritual alignment, any of those things, and multiply your joy in those connections. And so, you know, whether it's that you are trying to clean up your finances personally or professionally, that there's someone who wants to help you, that if you are open in your mind to being able to say, you know, what's supposed to be on its way to help me, know that in doing that, that thing is also on its way to you. So, you know, I would just encourage anyone listening to not give up in their search for continued contentment and joy in life. And, you know, if you're in this group with Leslie, Leslie's awesome. Ask Leslie all the questions. When you have her attention, that's an opportunity to exhaust her of all of her knowledge, because in the time that she's on live, she's saying, I'm available to you. You know, if it's other people in the group, make connections within the group. Just really utilizes the resources that you have available to you, because in doing so, it will be multiplied. Leslie's going to tell you, listen to that one book. Have you heard this podcast? Did you talk to so-and-so? And that's going to be what kind of changes your lens. It's not something that you have to do alone. So I think a lot of women are also like, you know, superwoman syndrome, where we try to do a lot and bear a lot by ourselves, and it's just not sustainable. Okay, it's tiring. So you don't have to do it all by yourself. There is no shame or guilt or anything like that in asking for support or asking for help or saying, hey, I'm struggling in this area, and allow yourself to be vulnerable and see what happens.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I am like so blessed to have had you guys both come on tonight. I hope that the ladies really understand the gems that you just dropped now, but I'm hoping that, you know, we can get some connections going for you guys, because I think that if they're looking for not only just the emotional freedom of being able to just like look at money as, okay, it's just a vessel to help me, you know, progress in this area of my life, or to do this in my life, or to, like, as you say, look at my account grow with joy. I definitely think that it would be really great for them to connect with you. So thanks again so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. If they wanted to reach you guys, where could they reach you? Jamie, where could they reach you?
I am on Facebook and Instagram as Financially Free with Jamie B. Feel free to DM me, give me a call or whatever. I'm always available as well. Or at least I try to be.
Thank you. And Jacent?
Yeah, I am most active on Instagram. However, I do have a Facebook page. Both should be Jacent Gems, Jacents, gems like, precious stones. Okay. And you can always reach out to me. Love answering questions, finding support if it's not me connecting with the right person. So, if you come to my internet home, make sure to say hi if I don't say hi to you first.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to end the broadcast. So I want to talk to you guys offline for just a second. Everyone, you have, I don't know if you got anything from this. I hope you did, because I know I certainly did. And I'm going to go back and listen to this again so I can write down all of the good stuff that was imparted for us today. And I hope that you took notes. And if not, don't worry, you'll be able to listen back in the group. So thank you guys again so much. I really, really am so happy that you took time, especially, with you both being on different sides of the world, of the country right now, and you both took time for me. So I really appreciate it. So thank you so much.
So welcome,
and group, I will be with you guys again later. Tomorrow, I will jump in and we'll have some more chats about emotional health. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.